Hello, awesome people. I hope you guys are all doing good. Sika Antonio here, coming live to you guys all the way from exciting Calgary. That's all I'm going to say here for now. I hope people are doing good. And here we go. Good afternoon, good night. I'm sure it's very late for a lot of people back in Africa and all of that, but I'm here. It's still afternoon. And one of my big sisters um, asked me to watch a video that Korra's sister Nancy did about all the things that have happened and how people are calling her out and saying she was the one that broke the marriage up because she got involved. And I just wanted to shed light on some of the things that have been mentioned by what Nancy said and just general lessons for all of us because this story is a never ending story, an always moving story. And no matter how much you love or dislike Korra and Justin, there are lessons that have to be learned from this experience so that we are all better placed to do things differently if we're caught in the same types of situations. Now, if you haven't watched Nancy's video, her sister's video, Korra's big sister's video, go back and watch that video. I did. And these are the lessons that I am drawing from what she said. I'm not going to go into it too much. But all I'm going to say is that just to paint the picture for those of you who haven't seen it yet, is that Nancy was out to clear her name, to try and debunk some of these comments that have gone on. And she's actually even said that for the first time in her life, she's now getting death threats as a result of all of this, on the back of trying to help her brother-in-law and her sister deal with their marriage. The marriage of Korra and Justin, which, by the way, from the looks of things, seems to be over, with this whole custody battle thing still very much alive and in process. Those of you who've been on social media any length of time, everybody who watches knows who Korra is and knows who Justin is. The couple with two children. Need I say more? But one of the things that is very striking for me here, and I'm not naming names or saying anything, I think it's all out there for everybody to see and know about, is that people who are narcissists always want to be in control of the situation. If you listen to the narrative from Nancy, everything was good and everything was, hunky dory as long as Korra did Justin's bidding. For as long as she did what she was told to do, she listened, she sat where she was told to sit, she posted videos that were prior approved by her husband, and all of that. Life was good. But as soon as she tried to be stubborn, not do as she was told, not listen to advice, she became the enemy of the state. And that is how people who have narcissistic characteristics in them, that is how they behave. I have been, I don't know whether to use the word privileged, but I've been in a place where I have seen firsthand what narcissists are capable of doing. And this has happened to people that I love, people that I'm blood related to. And so I say this with a lot of passion and a lot of emotion because I can just begin to imagine what Korra's family have been going through on the back of everything that has happened. I'm not going to sit here and say that Korra is the most fantastic person in the whole wide world. She's never done anything amiss. She hasn't gotten anything wrong. Neither am I going to sit here and say that Justin is the picture perfect husband. She's done everything that he was supposed to do. And you can see from watching the videos and listening to all of them narrate their versions of the story that both parties put their foot in a wrong position at some point in their relationship. Korra has been on camera and owned up to the fact that there was a cheating incident in their relationship. Justin, from all the videos we've seen, he's also had his own, done his own things too. So they're both not saints. And one thing that I absolutely want to applaud Nancy for in all of this, if she can hear the sound of my voice from wherever she is in Nigeria, is that Nancy, I don't know how you did it, managed to be a family member to one of the people that is involved in such a toxic marriage and still managed to have an objective opinion without taking sides. It's a very difficult thing to do. It is a very, very difficult thing to do when you're related to either one of the people involved in the marriage and you're being called upon to take an objective position in trying to resolve conflicts that are ongoing between two people in a marriage. And that was the next point that I wanted to talk about here. And it is that when you're in a marriage to somebody and you're having difficulties, the last people to go to, everybody says, oh, have you discussed things with your family? The worst and the last people to go to, from what I've seen, personal experience and otherwise, are your family members, your parents, your siblings, and people who have blood ties or like you for whatever reason. They are the worst people to go to. Why? Not because they hate you, not because you're not going to get good advice, but the fact of the matter is that, let's say I'm involved in a marriage and I've done something wrong or the marriage isn't going right and I call upon my parents. Let's just face the facts here. No matter what it is, it's going to be very difficult for my parents to not take sides. This is their child we're talking about here. And some of the times, not taking your side is also a bad reflection on them. It's almost as if people are going to think that they didn't raise you right. They didn't teach you right. And it is why your marriage is the way it is. You've not been brought up correctly, especially in an African setting. And so from what I've seen, from what I've experienced around me, different family members, friends, loved ones, and whatever you want to say it, the last people to go to when you have marital issues, which is a very volatile and emotional situation, are the people who love you the most. You're better off seeking counsel from people who can give you objective opinions as to what is going on. And so I really take my hat off to Nancy any day, because you can see from what was happening, what was ensuing throughout the whole time, from the chats that we saw to what she was talking about, that she was always trying to be the peacemaker. Something that is very difficult to do when you're a big sister that is supposed to be supporting your little sister in her adversity or her difficult times without taking sides. It's not that easy. And please, 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 those of you who have jumped on this live video, please, I'm beseeching you by the mercies of God, share this video. Share this video, because there's so many nuggets in here that we need to pick things from that is going to help us on our life's journey. It's why I'm here. It's not to talk about them. It's not the whole gossip thing, but it's actually for us to pick the things that are going to help us, lessons that we can learn, so that we're better placed to do better things with our own lives. Involving family members in your marriage when you're in a crisis can be the worst possible thing that you can do. You can go and speak to your mom. You can get advice from your dad. You can do all of that. But don't forget, they are also just human beings. And when they see their daughter going through this pain, or their son going through that pain, it is very hard to not take sides. It's very hard to not want to put, yourself in the situation. And it can become very complicated. And things can very quickly go from husband and wife to now parents pitching each other against one person, pitching themselves against the other person. Because don't forget, everybody always wants to look good, and everybody always wants to not come out or look as the parent that spoiled their children, the parent that didn't teach their children right. And we live in a society, and especially in our community, that people are very negative and have a lot of things to say. about parents when marriages don't work out. I know what I'm saying. I've been there, done that, worn the t-shirt. So I know what I'm talking about. The other thing that I saw, the trail of events that happened, the trend that I was seeing was that everything was good and everything was hanky dory as long as Nancy was seen supporting Justin, as long as everything he was saying she was agreeing with, or being in a position where she was scolding her younger sister and making the sister look bad, or telling her a thing or two, or all of that. It was all good. But as soon as Nancy started calling him out on the very things that he said he was going to do and then turn around and did the opposite, Nancy suddenly became the enemy of the state. And that is how it is. Narcissists will come into your life, and believe you me, they will literally lick your ass if they can. That is how they lure you in. They make you feel that they're out to protect you. They love you more than sense. They want to go out of their way to prove to you that they would always be your ride or die. Oh, yeah. And once they've got you, then they begin to cut the things that give you oxygen in your life all away from you, starting with the people that you care about, your family members, your friends, and the people that enable you to have the confidence and exude that self-confidence to begin to cut you off all of those people. Because when oxygen is depleted, what happens? Nobody hears the sound of your voice. You did, right? So they start with the parent. Oh, I think the parents are visiting too much. I don't know what they are doing here. And then, I don't think the parents should be visiting as much, or remove you completely, geographically from them. Once that is done, the next thing, finances. Because you have a voice and be able to have options and opportunities to do other things when you have money. So if they're able to cut you or sever the relationship between you and money, you and a job, you and something that is going to put money in your pocket, then, little by little, they're winning. They can get to silence you forever. And that is the other thing. Now, from all of this, and I don't know the full picture or the full story because I wasn't there. I am just basing what I'm saying this afternoon here on what Nancy said, the revelations that she made, her involvement in the whole process. Is why I'm recording this video, is that she did the best that she could under the circumstances. In fact, she went above and beyond to the point of almost ruining her own marriage, because she was spending all this time trying to fix a marriage that, from all intentions and purposes, from all I'm hearing, was dead even before it started. Those two people should have just simply never, ever, ever been married, in my opinion. Right? Now, the other thing that I wanted to say is that when you're with someone, you're dating somebody, you're courting, you're whatever you want to call it, you're getting to know somebody. I have said this time after time that there are very important conversations that need to happen so that the two people know where you stand in the whole thing, so that you can make an informed decision about whether you want to pursue the relationship, whether the two of you are actually even compatible in the first place before you take the whole thing to another level. A lot of us women are fixated on the looks, whether he has straight teeth, whether he has six-pack, whether he's tall enough, whether he's dark, he is whatever complexion you want him to be, and he has the physique that you want. I'm not saying looks don't matter, but there should be a scale of preference, and there's some things obviously take precedence and priority over other things. But those are the things that we are fixated on. And a lot of the younger men and all of that are also looking at looks, how big her front axles are, these things, how big they are, and the back axle, how it looks, and whether she's shapely or not, and all of those things, forgetting that beauty fades with time. You're not going to be living with front axles and back axles alone. You're going to be living with a personality, and it is the character that you're marrying. Now, in this particular scenario, these are two people, both of whom have their own different things that they want to do. Every human being that has their head screwed on right has goals, ambition, dreams, and things that they want to achieve in their lives. If you're thinking about somebody that you want to be with, have you spared a moment to discuss what it is that you want to do with your life with those people? To make sure that what he wants and what I want, whether it can marry each other and whether it's compatible. Is this person prepared to take me as I am with all my dreams, goals, and ambitions? Or is this person somewhere along the line going to try to stop me from pursuing the things that I want to pursue in pursuit of his? These conversations are not conversations that we have a lot of the time. We waste a whole lot of time on things that are not that necessary and forget the things that we should actually have pen on paper discussing so that we each know where we stand. And it doesn't come off as a surprise and this person didn't tell me this, and why is that person pursuing this dream, this, that, and the other. If those two knew, understood each other from the get-go, if Justin took the trouble to understand who Korra was and what she stood for, what she wanted to do with her life and herself. Hey Gina, how are you doing? Fatima, thank you so much. How are you doing, sweetheart? If you're on this live video and you haven't shared my video, you are not doing well. You are not my friend. Please, 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 please share the video. There's a lot of things that we need to learn and be learning from what is happening here, playing all in front of our very eyes, that we are learning. And I hope people are getting the things that need to be gotten here and don't repeat these same mistakes in this particular moving story. If you sit down with somebody and all you're thinking about is what he looks like and all of those things, and don't discuss your long-term goals and what you want, these are some of the things that are potentially able to happen. You could see that Justin initially felt that Korra was some small, young, little mouse that was going to hide in the corner and not make any noise until she's asked to. She was just going to sit in the corner and be quiet. He didn't like the fact that all of a sudden, this young lady that he met suddenly now has a voice and actually knows what she wants. She has a backbone. She wants to pursue music. She's book writing. She's dancing. She's into this, that, and the other. And he just couldn't control all of that anymore. It is always good to put it out there from the get-go. This is me. Take it or leave it. And if you don't want to take it, then move on. Waka pass. Right? And so as things are unraveling, Korra is growing. She's finding herself. She now has self-confidence. She's pivoting. She's being able to leverage all the opportunities that are now staring her in the face with where she is now. Uncle Justin is not very happy about what is happening because he is just in his practice doing his thing. And Korra seems to have multiple ideas, each of which can be monetized and become another source of income in her life. You see, it is very sad that sometimes when men have women that are ambitious, driven, and are capable of conquering the world, instead of seeing that as a strength that they can leverage, let me encourage my wife. Let me encourage my wife. Let me put so much more air in her bubble so that she can fly. A lot of our men see it as a threat. Instead of something that they can actually harness, they see it as a threat. How comes I'm not the one? I'm the head of the house. How comes I'm not the one that's making A, B, C, and D, and it is the wife that is making the money? Things could have been so much easier. I have seen couples do it. I used to look after a baby donkeys years ago. The husband was a home interior decorator, and the woman was a district judge. She left the house at 6 o'clock in the morning, sometimes come home at midnight. And so the man who was flexible with his work schedules and picked what he wanted to do on a daily basis became the mom of the children, as it were, and was the one that was doing everything. So the woman could go focus on the thing that was bringing the gazillion monies home. The guy did it with so much pride. Wake up in the morning, bathe the 5-year-old and the 6-month-old baby, drop them off at the nursery where I worked, and then go do his thing. And by the time it's time for closing, he's outside already, like he's parked before the doors even open for the children to go home. It is doable. It is all about talking and discussing it right from the get-go so everybody understands what the role is going to be if this relationship is going to the next level. It is possible if there's mutual respect for each other and what they do. Because relationships that children get involved with, it's not just about the money. Money alone doesn't raise the children. Like, somebody has to physically be there to make sure that systems are working, the children are safe, they've eaten, they're wherever they need to be at whatever particular time, so that things can happen. A lot of our men think that once you throw money at raising a child, that is the end of the story, and the raising and the bringing up and all of that is down to the woman alone to do. It is not like that. It is not like that. And so, as a narcissist, you're trying to cut off the things that are giving people oxygen, cutting the family, and now trying to take the finances and all of those things apart is why he was complaining extensively about, she's posting this thing. Is it picture perfect? She's exposing herself. She's doing this, that, and the other. And then the same person who is accusing somebody of taking nude pictures and putting them on social media is themselves taking recording videos or going on live video and happy enough to show the same person in nudity. Like, it's just double standards. But people who are narcissists will do anything as long as it helps them, it makes them feel better, it makes them look good. They have gazillion of supporters and people in their camp supporting them. Once the support turns the other side and now people are not so keen, they don't like that at all. Nancy was his best friend until Nancy said, hey, wait a minute, but you're saying this and you're not doing that. You're doing something different. We spoke to you both. We know you're public figures. You've talked about everything about your life and put your whole self on social media. Fine. But now this is a difficult time. If you guys have decided that this marriage isn't worth fighting for anymore and you want to get a divorce, please, please, please keep all of these things out of social media because it does get very bloody. Would they listen? No. Korra tried to do her bit, listen to her parents, her big sister, her family, and try to be zip about all of it from the get-go. But it was starting to look like the more she was zipping, things were just getting out of control. And she's being told, don't say anything. Her hands are tied behind her back. She can't have a voice. She can't defend herself. And so she broke. She also had to say what she had to say. The very person that claimed that they didn't want this to become a public thing, they were the same people who claimed they got drunk and then they went and spewed everything that had already been agreed to just be done behind closed doors to the full view of the whole public, everybody out there. Like, what is this? What is all of that? And then now, when things aren't quite going the way that he had anticipated them to go, the same person is crying foul. That is how they are. That is how narcissists, that's how they behave. I'm not saying, like I said before, I'm not saying that Korra is a saint. She wasn't. She also did her own fair share of boo-boos. But who is perfect? right? And the fact that she did whatever she did, owned up to it, and talked about it means that at least she was owning it. But from somebody else, all I'm seeing is blame game. Look at what she's doing. Look at what she's doing. Didn't I tell you? Look, she's doing it again. Look at what she's doing. Always constantly reporting. Like, I'm even surprised that Nancy didn't let all this thing go even sooner, much, much sooner than this, because it can be very, very draining. And it's not like Nancy was single. She has her own husband and her own children and her own home to run as well. So I can just imagine what Korra and Nancy's parents have been enduring for the pendency of this marriage. It couldn't have been fun. It could not have been fun. It must have been really difficult for the whole family. Like, a lot of us say all sorts of things, but unless you're actually caught up in that sort of a situation, you can't begin to imagine the enormity of the pressure, the stress and strain that is put on the family, the people that are sitting aside on the fences, helpless, not knowing what to do. I've been in that position and I know what it is. When somebody you love more than sense is bleeding and you can't even wipe them up, because you have to take yourself out of it and not bring emotions into the whole play, because you will then just make it worse. So all you can do is that when the person that you love is bleeding, when they come back home, you can, behind closed doors, you can wipe them up, you can clean it up, you can put a Band-Aid on it and whatever else they need to make it better. And once that happens, you have to let them go, and they go back into the boxing ring again, only to come back with bloody injuries. It is not pretty. It's not funny. I can't begin to imagine what Korra's parents have endured. Korra's family, Nancy, the husband, everybody involved in this thing over the whole period that this has gone on for. And to be able to maintain all the cordiality, remain silent and respectful of the whole situation, kudos to them. Security services were called, whatever happened, they got involved and all of that. Difficult time, stressful time, unimaginable things Korra has been going through. And she's only a young woman. I always say that there's no diary or manual or anything that is out there about how to parent, how to do anything. Unless you get your toes wet, you don't have any idea about what it's like. Nothing, anything anybody says prepares you enough until you're actually in the soup. Then you know what it feels like. And so to all the people out there, Korra's family, Korra's siblings, the parents and everybody, and Korra herself, like, kudos to all of you. Congratulations. The bit that hurts me the most is those two adorable girls that have now become piggy in the middle in this whole thing. Both parties on the face of it seem to be saying that they want there to be peace and they want to happily co-parent so that the girls can get the best of both worlds. But it is absolutely clear that one party is not here for peace. One party is here trying to make this whole thing about them and not the children. Not the children. Like, if you love your children so much, you never pitch one parent against the other. You never try to make out that you are the better parent and you could do it better and try to see if you can get the kids, young kids who don't even understand, on side. You don't do that. You don't do that. And so anyone who's listening to me here who is going through something similar, a divorce or whatever, it's not your place to try to make children understand or see that their father or their mother is rubbish, it's not good enough, she's done this, that, and the other. Kids are a lot more smarter than we give them credit for. They're not stupid. They know what's up. They do. They might be little and young and not say much, but very quickly they can really, see what is happening and make the choices that need to be made. They're not stupid. It is so sad. It is so sad. My sister says that Justin thought he'd found this African child to manipulate, but came to find out Korra is not easy. He needs to leave her alone and pay his child support. It is plain and simple. Plain and simple. Anybody, I mean, I didn't have to watch Korra for 2 days. I didn't have to watch more than 2 of her videos to already know that she's not easy. She has a mind of her own and she does what she thinks is best for her. She's not that sort of person that you can tame and control. This woman is a free-spirited person. And some people can't handle that. Some people can't deal with people that are just free-spirited people that you just have to leave be. If you're like that and you want to be in control, you always want to dictate where people sit and stand and drink and whatever, please don't go after free-spirited women or men because they can't be tamed. They just want to be out there and live her life. You can tell that that's all she wants to do. If entertaining and the arts and color and vibrance is not for you and you're just this person that wants your peace, somebody like Korra, it's not your kind of person. Korra is doing the best that she can under her circumstances. And to be honest with you, I take my hat off to that girl any day that she hasn't lost her mind in the midst of all of this, because that's what a lot of onlookers are wanting to happen. For Korra to lose it, for Korra to go crazy, for Korra to do this. So that, oh yes, we said it, she can't handle it. Didn't we say she's a bad parent? But this girl is muddling through, sometimes on a very thin leash, with everything that she's having to deal with. But if there's one big lesson that I can't, not talk about here, it is that sometimes when you're a public figure, when you're a blogger, when you're into all of these things, social media, content creation, and all of that, you have to know who you are in order to decide what it is when it comes to your own personal life that you want to put out there. If you have big cojones and you want to put yourself out there and you have the cojones that is big enough to face up to everything that is going to come, the backlash, the everything, then kudos to you. Because it is not a very smooth sailing water like that you can just say whatever you want to and think that people are not listening. My little time on social media has taught me that people are listening and people are taking records. And at the best time, at the most appropriate time, when it's going to hurt you the most, oh yeah, your dossier comes out and people will tell you, but you said this. You said this. And so if you know that you are not that sort of person that has that big personality to take the good, the bad, and the ugly on social media, it is best that you adopt a strategy that suits you from the get-go. Be very intentional about what you're doing. Don't just start doing anything and then trying to figure it out as you go along, because you put one foot wrong on social media and it bites you for a lifetime. If you know that there are aspects of your life that you don't want other people to know about, my darling, keep it out of the place. Especially to do with children. Especially to do with children. There's a lot of children around me. I love them to bits. Sometimes I wish I could just live my life and just be out there with the children that I have in my life. But I know well enough from everything I've seen that it is best that the children are just not in social media circles, because I just love them too much. I don't want them to have to be dealing with this years down the line. I don't. So guys, Anybody out there who is into content creation or, very loud on social media, these are some of the strategic things that you have to think about early on in the process and decide what it is that you want to put out there before you put it out there. This thing that I'm about to talk about, is this something that I can defend? I put a lot about my personal life out there. That is my own life, my health, my this, my that. If you want to come back at me with that, do that. It's my own life. I lived it, me. So if you want to come at me with that, then that's your problem. But what I'm saying is that when there are other people involved, like young children who don't get to pick and choose whether they want to be in social media settings or not, it is sometimes just better that we keep them out of there, because of the wolves and the tigers and tigresses that are on social media, ready to pounce like a vampire on young children, to the point now where Korra just has to keep the girls, out of the social media space a bit more than she would have ordinarily done, because the children have been a part of this whole story from the get-go, from the birth of June all the way up to her little sister's birth. It's all out there. And now it's all played out. Things that we shouldn't be privy to, we're privy to. And I just feel sorry for those two young, amazing, beautiful girls being caught up in the middle of all of this. It is not fun at all. It's not funny. Narcissists never want to see their victims triumph, succeed, making a thing out of their lives. They want you to end up the miserable person that nobody wants to have anything to do with. And so when they've left you and you're able to move on with your life, go back to the drawing board and, reinvent your whole self and come back out fighting. It doesn't go down well. I have seen it with my true Kolo eyes. I am telling you, I have seen it. They don't like that at all. They don't. They think that when they're done with you, nobody else should want to have nothing to do with you. That is what narcissists do. On the back of this whole thing, the separation, divorce, all of that, instead of Korra hiding in a corner, screaming and crying, nothing is working out for me, that is what, would have been good. But no, Korra seems to be making it. Korra seems to have, her page has just kind of spiraled out of control. People love her. She's into her music, her books, her dance, her this. Tomorrow she's got a booking to do that. She's cooking. She's having fun with her girls. Nah, that's not how it should have been. In the mind of narcissists, no, that's not how it should have been. You just wait till Korra meets somebody else who's going to love the socks off her. Yeah, wait until Korra gets into another relationship and it's working out and they're happy and they're all over the place with the girls. You will see. Remember this day that I told you. Share this video. Share the video, please, guys. I beg you. Share the video. That is narcissist for you. Young women that are coming up, that have made marriages the end all and be all. I'm not saying marriage isn't important. It is. When you're married to the right person who gets you and understands you and wants you to shine so as brightly as you can that the sky is the limit, marriage is the best thing ever. Equally, when you meet somebody who wants to kill your destiny even before it starts, doesn't want you to do things because they disagree with it and they can't do it and it is not what they think you should be doing, as if the destiny was theirs to put out there in the first place. My darling, it can also be your worst possible nightmare. A lot of women have made it their point to think that marriage is the end all and be all. Like, we women have been brought on the surface of this planet, and the only purpose and use that the Heavenly Father had for you, somebody who made you in his own image and likeness, the end game is to be married. Marriage is important. Marriage is supposed to be a complement to your other life. And that other life involves you knowing who you are, figuring it out, and being that best version of yourself. Then, when this dude comes along or this woman comes along and you're living your life, it can come and complement that life. Not try to take it away, not try to tell you how you should sit, how many times you should laugh, what dresses you can wear or not wear. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. A lot of women and I'm not saying that this is directly related to what we're talking about here, but if you make it all about the sex and the looks and the feelings and all of that, and take your eyes off the ball for them things that are actually important, you will make wrong choices and regret it for the rest of your life. And so many people sat in marriages that it's as good as roommates. This one called that person, and then this one is in this room, and they are just paying bills behind closed doors. It is all just roommating. That's all you're doing. There ain't no fun to be had in your marriage. You know yourselves. Narcissists for you, wanting to pin you down and trying to cut off your oxygen. Exactly. Empress Yasmin. That's what they all do. Like, the script is there. It never changes. They don't deviate from it. It is the script. It is the script. And a lot of the times, the telltale signs are there to be seen. But we women misinterpret all those warning signs to be, oh, he cares about me. Actually, he loves me so much. It's why he's trying to control things so that, he can make sure that I'm safe. These are some of the things that are out there. Typical narcissist behavior. I have touched on putting yourself out there on social media. Know thyself. Know what you can cope with. A lot of the things I've put there on social media, maybe they'll come back to bite me one day, but maybe I also have the personality and the cojones to deal with it. What about you? Are you sure? You don't just put things there because everybody says, yes, post it. Put it out there, post it. After all, what? Post it. Marriage, this thing called marriage, it takes two to tango. It takes two. In our African settings, a lot of the things that you hear, we always create the impression as if it is always the woman's job to fix the marriage, be in the marriage. In fact, it's the woman's job to want the marriage in the first place. Then when they have the marriage, they are the ones who become the maintenance technicians for the marriage. Maintenance technicians for the marriage. I heard this adage, or I don't even know what to call it, the other day on TikTok. And this woman was saying is that before you go building your relationship, you need to ask who the owners of the land that you're building your relationship on are. Do you know the landowner? Do you know what sort of things have been planted on the land before you're trying to build your own relationship on that land? And a lot of people it was funny. You burst out laughing. But there's a lot to be said about that. Lydia, I'm good. How are you doing, sweetheart? It's very sad that this is how the story goes. But I'm not surprised that it's ended the way it has. Because this thing was dead, like it was dead before it even started. That's God's honest truth. Very disruptive. Like when I was listening to Nancy, About 15 minutes in, I started feeling my temples hurting. I was exhausted. I felt drained just listening to this. And I'm like, how did you do it, Nancy? How were you able to be involved in this and still be able to function? And I don't even know them. Like, it is the toxicity and the negativity is palpable. You can actually feel it with yourself, your hands, if you're that sort of person. It was very bad. It was very deep, dark stuff that was going on. And to be honest with you, these things don't typically tend to have happy endings. It hasn't been too long since Bimbola and Ivy, is it Ivy or whatever? Bimbola passed away. Not too long in the Nigerian domain. My Nigerian ladies in the house, you would know what I'm saying. It doesn't tend to have a happy ending. So to be completely honest with you, I am just happy that both parties are still alive. Korra is still alive. And the girls, most importantly, are still alive. Because this could have not had such a happy ending. I'm telling you. Toxicity and negativity and violence is just, yeah, not an environment for anybody to thrive in for any length of time. So I'm actually happy. Today is a good day that this is how the story has gone and this is how it's ending, because everybody can sleep at night. Everybody can sleep at night. And so, guys, I was just passing by to let you know that these things that our sister Nancy spoke about, that is typical narcissistic behavior. Know what you want, set your goals and priorities, discuss them with your partner before you get into any long-term committed relationship with anybody. Make it clear that you're going to be a working mom, a working woman, a working whatever. Make it clear. Don't leave any gray areas or anything to chance. Don't think that, oh, do we need to discuss this? But this is obvious. How do you know it's obvious? Common sense, they say, is not common to common people. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. Don't think, but doesn't he know that I will also want to work and earn? No, assume that he doesn't know. Discuss all of these things and get it all cleared up before you make that decision to take that next step, my darlings, both men and women. Sometimes men want to eat their cake and have it. Sometimes some men want to eat their cake and have it. Some men want the women that will cook and clean and keep the home and everything. And then they also want the same woman to also earn an income to support them. Like, what do you want? What takes precedence? Because you can't expect one person to be full-time mom, full-time money maker, full-time homemaker, full-time sex mate, full-time everything, and expect the person to excel at everything, when all I'm seeing is that you are only expert in one thing that is going to work. I'm not seeing you looking after children. I'm not seeing you picking up after them. I'm not seeing you doing the pickup and drop-offs, the night feeds, the cooking, the cleaning, anything. And you want everything. And the last thing I would say is that when you have children, especially my brothers, when you have children, understand that if you want to have any long-term relationship with your children, you have to make it a point to prioritize them. Do anything and everything that works in their favor and look after your children. Provide for your children. You cannot reap where you haven't sown. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm always talking about my dad. I'm a daddy's girl till I'm red, black, and blue in my face. Why? Because that guy would cross the oceans for his children. Even if he doesn't have, if it means selling his last boxer short to make sure that his girls are fine, he'll do it without even thinking about it. That is why I will never stop talking about my father. And so, any fathers in the house that want to have girls that will one day love you and love on you and talk about you, provide for your children. Whether their mom makes $1 billion or not, provide for your children. You took part in making the children. Provide for your children. Mhm. When you were doing the other one, you enjoyed the swinging pendulum in Apple. Once you enjoy swinging pendulum plus Apple games, you must also know that one of the things that comes out of that kind of a game is children. And when they come, be responsible and look after them. Don't stop looking at how much money their own mother makes and how much and this, that, and the other. Provide for your children. If kinky is what you can afford, provide that. The kids will remember that when they were little, even though their mom was driving in Mercedes Benz, their dad brought them kinky once a week. They would remember that. Yeah, provide for your children. How much your ex-spouse or your spouse to be or your ex-spouse made, it's not the problem. Provide for your children. Provide for them. Yeah, because those are the things that matter. The children want to see you show up and be a parent. Stop making it about their mom and the things that happen between you. It is not about you and her anymore. It's about the children. So step up and parent. I really, for the love of God, hope that now that this whole divorce thing is done, I hope it's done. I hope it's done. That these two people, both of them, will now realize that, look, the only things that matter here are the two girls that we have. I may not like Justin, I may not like Korra, but let me do what needs to be done for the sake of my children. That is something that some partners are unable to do. Even many years after the whole thing has been said and done, you're still looking through the lens of the pain and the bitterness and the anger and the jealousy that you're feeling towards the other party and viewing your children in that lens. That is crazy thinking. What have the children done? What did they ask you to do? They never asked to be born. Do the needful. Do what is necessary and look after your children. Guys, these are the things that I had to say about this moving story and this recent development. And I want to thank my sister Nancy for everything that she tried to do. She went above and beyond, in my opinion. And like I said, I would have never even wanted no family involvement with this because it's just too much of an emotional situation. You can tell how exhausted she is. You can tell how sorry she feels that in spite of everything that she tried to do, that this is how the story goes. But I think the writing was on the wall all along anyway, based on the things that we've all been privy to from what's been on social media. They were just bad for each other. Unfortunately, it is what it is. And Pastor P, thank you so much for being here. Share the video. Share the video. Share the video. The last thing I'm going to say before I wrap up here, in fact, two things. The last but one thing I'm going to say here is that if you haven't already downloaded Tap Send on your phone from Google Play Store and added the promotion code AKUSIKA in order to get all the bonuses that are out there, you're missing out. We all send remittances back home, whether we like it or not. We have loved ones back home in Ghana, Nigeria, wherever you are in Africa, you do. Download the app on your phone or your tablet, whatever gadget you use, and you only get the bonuses when you use that promotional code that I've just talked about, which is A as in Apple, K as in Kilo, U as in Umbrella, S as in Sandra, I as in India, K as in Kilo, A as in Apple, to get the bonuses that are out there. Go grab them. If you love me, you will do that for me, to get bonuses for your own self. Like, it doesn't get better than that. And if you're watching me and you're never sending me stars, you're not sharing my videos, you're not doing none of that, you're not my friend. I can see that you're just saying you love me, but you don't actually love me that much. So if you love me, show me. I want you to show me how much you love me. Thank you for all your support, guys. You guys are super awesome. This platform is, slowly but surely getting there. I want to thank you so much and continue to, beseech you by the mercies of God to put this page out there. It is your shares and your follows and your likes and all of that is going to happen. Make it all happen for all of us. Get other people to view all the awesome things that happen here, and life is going to be better for all of us. This is an educative platform for every single one of us to benefit from. Pastor Patience, God bless you so much for typing the promotion code out there for you. She has put it there in bold capital letters. Like, it doesn't get any easier than that. God bless you, Pastor P. I salute you. It doesn't get better than that. Okay? I've been here for 56 minutes. I've said everything that I have to say. But the last thing, you're doing great. Say, narcissists never believe any other person should live but them. This is the narrative. It is part of the, the blueprint. That is how they behave. That is how they behave. And because Korra is thriving, I am rooting for that young girl so much. And I know she's going to do even bigger and better things. I can't wait to see her. I am. And I am absolutely amazed at the things that she's able to do. She's cracked sometimes because she's a human being. It's called being human. Yeah. And she's still, maturing. But on the whole, she's done a good job. All things considered. And she will make an amazing mom. She is an amazing mom. No matter what anybody has to say. You all have opinions about how to raise children, But if we were to live in your house, we will see how you raise your own children. Always having opinions about other things instead of minding your business. Right? I love you guys. I love you so, so much. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Omoyeni. Thank you, Pastor Patience. Thank you, Empress Yasmin, Sister Lydia. I saw Gina before. Any of you that are here that I haven't mentioned your name, Sister Confidence. I love all of you. Fatima, all of you guys. You guys are super, super awesome. And I love you guys so much. Thank you for all you do. Continue to do that. God bless you. And keep watching the ads that are inserted in the videos. Like those of you skipping the ads in the videos. I am going to start coming in your dreams. So I have to laugh. You're not sending me no stars. You're not supporting the content. You're just consuming free content. That is the least you can do now. Abba, help me, help me, help you. I love you. You are awesome and amazing. God bless you. Have a fantastic rest of your Saturday. It's almost 4:00 in the afternoon here. I'm going to get ready and, get on with the rest of my day. I love you so much. And please, as you're watching this whole story, be sure to learn the lessons that are important here so that you don't fall victim to the same things. God bless you. You are amazing and I love you. Mwah. Bye.